Ladies and gentlemen, hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, I give you BVO.
Oh, we boxing? Yeah, we boxing. I need that belt like it ain't no other option. So we punching and weaving and blocking. Defeat ain't an option. Let them know, shoot a video, put it on BVO. Let them know, every time I punch, it's a heavy blow. BVO, bound to hit like bricks cause it was set in stone. Let them know, I ain't getting body, but I'ma hit this flow. Yeah, way more than a show, this is BVO.
We here at BVO Sports TV would like to thank the sponsor of today's podcast, Prize Picks. Pick, predict, play. It's that simple. A huge thank you to Prize Picks for supporting BVO Sports TV and the Doghouse community. Thanks again to Prize Picks.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy BVO Sports TV. We back with another show, man. About to talk some boxing, man. I'm getting ready to see, probably one of my favorite young fighters in the world, and that's Abdullah Mason, man. I feel like Abdullah Mason is one of them guys that you get every now and then that come out, can do a little bit of everything. Can't wait to see him fight. Fighting this guy named Sam Notes. I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think the only thing I will say is I just hate that it's not going to be here in America. We can kind of enjoy it and celebrate more, but I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a really, really good fight. As they say, it's going to be a great scrap. I can't wait to see what happened, though, because I think that when you talk about this fight, I think out of that card, this might be one of those ones where we might get fireworks because Sam can punch. And Sam can punch. I think that go a long way when you talk about going against a guy like Abdullah Mason because a good chance, man. You never know. He could really put some hands and feet on him, so it could be nice. Look at my brother Mike Grimm showing love. But I think it's gonna be nice, man. So I'm excited about it. But I'll say this though too. I'm just wondering when we get this fight though, will they unify? Because the previous generation at 135, those guys for whatever reason or another, they didn't unify. They let Devin Haney unify. They let Teal unify, but you never really seen you never seen my man Tank, or you never seen Shakur Sanchez, as I like to call him. You never seen Shakur and them unify. So it is. What's up, man? You said what's up? This is what this dude we talking about in here. Hey, we definitely talking about some boxing, man. But I'll say this though, the cool part about it all though, when you talk about seeing this card, I think the thing that's so cool is I haven't heard a lot of people talk about David Benavidez versus Anthony Yarde. I think Anthony Yarde, man, is a live dog. Do I think he can beat David Benavidez? I don't know. But I definitely am excited about the fight because for me, I feel like people really, really sleep on Anthony Yarde. I mean, the dude can fight. He's showing you over and over and over again he can really, really scrap. But the thing I will say is this. In this fight, we're going to really see if David Benavidez is the goods or not. And you say, why you say that? Because guess what? I definitely cannot believe the hype around people making it seem like David Benavidez is unbeatable or this, that, and the third. No, he got some fast hands, but when he get in there with my man, Yard, we're going to really see what he can do. He said, honestly, we need Brock Lesnar versus Jake Paul. You a goofball. But speaking of that, that's a good point you brought up. We did it again, man. We're going to have Jake Paul go up against Anthony Joshua, which I think is a really, really good fight. I'm excited about that fight. So I think it's going to be dope. But I'll say this. The cool thing about that fight is that it's actually happening. The only thing I will say, I definitely didn't agree with Jake putting on like a rehydration / weight clause on it. Like I think Anthony Joshua can't be no more than 245. I don't think that's good. I don't think that's good at all. I think that's not something he need to be doing because it's the heavyweight division. If you can make the weight, you should just get the fight. There shouldn't be no weight to make. It's a heavyweight division. Y'all remember back in the day when we seen Andy Ruiz eating candy bars before he fought Anthony Joshua? you shouldn't be able to put a weight limit on it, but they're gonna do it. And people talk about, oh yeah, Anthony Joshua trying to get a payday. Yeah, what else did you do when you're a fighter? You go to get paydays. That's what you do. When you're a fighter, you go to get paydays. Super my brother free. That's what you do it for. You go in there to get paydays. Smash the like button for your boy BVO, man. But I'll say this. The cool part about it is this. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to see what Jake can do. Because everybody's so talking about Jake ain't a real fighter. He ain't fought nobody since third. We're going to see, man. He about to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. So then what y'all going to say? When he beats up the heavyweight champion of the world, or if he can do anything, we'll see what happens. If he can, he can. But one thing we know about Anthony Joshua not going to play with him. Anthony Joshua going to come in full steam, try to knock the dude's head off, and we're going to see what happens. But for me, I'm going to just be real with you. I think this is one of those fights where it could be probably one of the biggest cross promotions we see in boxing history, dude, because we're talking about one of the most popular guys, or one of the most popular guys in the UK who can still sell tickets, and they think he's vulnerable. Because guess what, y'all? What happens if Jake Paul stops Anthony Joshua? Y'all gonna say he took a dive? I'm sure y'all gonna say something stupid like that. Nothing about Anthony Joshua has ever told me he would do something like that. Salute to Angie, baby. So I'm not gonna ever get up here and go up the man's integrity and say he'll do something like that, because I don't think he will. I'm pretty sure, this is probably me going on a limb, I'm pretty sure he won't. Salute to Miss BVO. I'm pretty sure he won't do something like that. So we'll see what happens, man. But I will say this. When it comes to the fights, right? When it comes to the fight, I think it's going to be huge. I mean, you're talking about Miami. The only thing about it, in Miami, is so much to do in Miami. I don't know if that'll be a huge sellout, but we shall see. Because for me, honestly, I think that it's going to be a good fight. But talking about that in the news, that's exciting. But I'm telling you, man, I'm really excited about Abdullah Mason, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how the fight's going to play out, because Sam Notes is powerful. That's the thing about it. This is not like no lay down type of dude. This is a dude who's going to really get in there and come to fight you and be ready to, do what he got to do in the ring. So we're going to see what happens, man. But I can't wait to see what happens, man. So it's going to be a dope fight. Give me 1 second. Let me look at this real quick. Hold on, give me 1 second. So what I'm gonna do real quick, we're gonna go to commercial. We'll be right back. Give me 1 second. We'll be right back. I'm gonna fix my audio.
Attention, fight fans in the DMV. It's live, it's local, it's boxing. Jetter Promotions, RDR Promotions, in association with Maryland Live Hotel and Casino in Hanover, Maryland, presents a night of championship boxing, Saturday, November the 22nd, featuring some of your favorite DMV boxers. In her professional debut, we've got Bria Miller, Casey Wheels Wheeler, Keith Saunders, Nasheed Sugar Sheed Smith, Tyler John Wayne Langer, Jakeem Too Sharp Hutcherson, Mikai No Limit Phillips, Derek Scooter Davis, Ahmed Momo Jones, Brandon the Hitter Chambers, Ezra No Time Turner, and in our main event, we've got Michael the Professor Fox. Tickets are available through AXS or at the Live Hotel and Casino box office. November the 22nd, doors open at 5 p.m.
Shout out to Jeter Promotions. It's really good to see a young lady like that getting into the boxing game, putting up her own card, because you don't see that. A lot of people talk about their bosses and they doing things, but shout out to her, man. She putting her money up to really make something possible and stuff, and I love that. So not much more to say on that end. But like I said, back to what we talking about on this boxing. Hold on. Oh, give me 1 second. I'm a little audio issue. Second. Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on, what is going on? Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm having a little audio issue where I can't hear myself. All right, hold on. All right, dang, hold on. What in the world? Yo, put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me, because I can't hear myself. Okay, cool. I can hear myself again. Okay, cool. But like I was saying, the cool part about this whole card is it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. The one thing I will say is this: when it come to Abdullah Mason, I just hope that when he get the title, man, them guys get back to unifying and pushing the belt forward, man. Because I feel like too many times in boxing, man, these guys don't want to do that. And when they don't want to do that, man, maybe we want to do this, man.
Strike red lightning! Give power to my nigger sword!
And you know, I don't want to have to pull out my nigga sword. I definitely don't want to have to pull out my nigga sword. So we gotta see some better fights than what we're seeing, man. Because at the end of the day, I don't know if you guys been watching, but we hear more talking than we do see boxing now. Which for me, that get old. Like you hear all these guys from, oh, I'm gonna fight this guy, I'm gonna fight that guy. Like we just seen Boots and Virgil huff and puff. But do we know if that fight's gonna happen? I doubt it. And then you're gonna have people say, "Oh no, Virgil's scared. Oh, Oscar's scared. Whatever." I don't know who's scared. All I know is I want to see the fight. I want to see the fight. That's my whole thing. I think too many times everybody be focused on the wrong part of it, man. Who cares? Who's scared? Who cares? Who do what? I just want to see somebody fight, bleed, get beat to death. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see nothing but that. But that's kind of how we go now, where people just always talk about what they want to see or this, that, and the third, and then we never get to fight. Because guess what? No matter what, if Boots and Virgil don't fight, what was the whole point of them doing that in the ring? If they never gonna fight, that's my only question. If they don't fight, what's the whole purpose of going back and forth like y'all was gonna do something? It counts for nothing. You want to bring my brother Free up? What's going on, Free? How you feeling, man?
I'm cool, and what's good with you?
Oh man, trying to figure out what's going on with my earphones, man. I think it's time for me to get some new earphones. But just talking about Abdullah Mason, man, and this card coming up, because I think this is a big card, man. And I'm excited about seeing Abdullah get a chance to be a champion. What about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, I've called it for a while. I said it. I think it was early last year. I said I give him about another year, and he's gonna be in position to fight for a title. And here we are, about a year later, and he's fighting for a title. I know he's fighting for a title, not the way he expected to get it, but it's still, nevertheless, he's fighting for a title.
Yeah, I just don't understand why the excitement isn't there for this fight. I think because it's way in Saudi Arabia, and plus you hear people talking about the Devin Haney, Brian Norman part of the card, but I think this is a really underrated fight on here because I don't think people realize the only really 50-50 fight on that whole card is Devin Haney and Brian Norman. The other two fights are pretty much set. You know Abdullah's going to win. You're pretty much sure that Benavidez might really hurt Anthony Yarde. What you think?
I think that's a 50-50 fight as well. Because Anthony Yarde is very dangerous early in that fight. He
Mm-hmm.
uh he has good boxing ability. I think he's the better boxer out of the two between David Benavidez and him and himself.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he got decent power, so he's very dangerous early. The problem is as the fight go on, he starts to wear down. He's got a lot of muscle mass, and it takes a lot of energy from him. A lot of oxygen is needed for those muscles. Um,
Mm-hmm.
from what I'm seeing, David Benavidez looked like he lost a little bit of weight for this fight. So I think David Benavidez is going to be a little more energized than we normally see him. David
Mm-hmm.
Benavidez already has a nice gas tank, a great motor, but I think he's going to be a little more energized for this fight because he took some of that weight off. Um, but I think it's going to be an interesting fight. David got to be on his A game early in that fight because Anthony Yarde is going to be game and he's going to be very dangerous early in that fight. But
Mm-hmm.
if David Benavidez do what I expect him to do, work the body and take him into the later rounds. I think David Benavidez probably have an opportunity to stop Anthony Yard somewhere around round 8, round 9, maybe even round 10. I think it's going to be somewhere around there where he's going to end up stopping Anthony Yard. Because Anthony Yard, he always seemed to gas out later
Mhm.
in the fight.
Yeah, that's the part that get me. That's why I kind of like don't even. And maybe because I didn't watch Yard so much, I seen him when he first got his big shot versus Sergey Kovalev. He was whooping Kovalev, and then he got tired, and then Kovalev knocked him out. I'll never forget that. I was
Yeah.
just shocked. I was shocked. Like, you was beating this dude dead, and then next thing you know, you on the ground spitting your mouthpiece out. It was just like, I don't know, man. I was just shocked about that. So I guess I've never put a lot of faith in him. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest David Benavidez fan, but he's looked phenomenal. He's looked incredible these last few fights, man. He's looked incredible. He looked incredible versus Morrell. Some people say it was a knockdown, which I believe it was, but outside of that, he dominated Morrell, and that's not easy to do. And kind of thinking of it now, maybe Morrell kind of put the cart before the horse because David just really beat him up. I didn't see that happen. I thought Morrell would win, but just that fight, he looked great versus Plant. He kind of made us let everybody know he was good when he beat up Bubu Andre. But do you think, like, if he beats Yard, that we'll possibly see him get the a Bivol or a Beterbiev fight? Because I think those dudes, I don't think they're gonna fight him. What about you?
I don't think Arthur is backing it down from anybody. I think he'll fight anybody. Um, but those are the fights that they have planned out. According to his father, they have 4 fights lined up. One is Anthony Yard. He get past there, he's looking to get either Arthur or Bivol next, and then after that one, he's looking to get the other one, and then after he finishes with those 3 guys, he's looking to go up to cruiserweight and fight Ja Obertai. So I like what they're speaking on and trying to get the biggest and the best fight. So I'm not mad at him at all. That's one thing I will say about David Benavidez. He's always been looking to get the biggest fights and the best fights. He never looked to take an easy task.
Only thing I will say is I really think that David Benavidez really wanted that Canelo fight. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I think he really wanted that fight. And even though he was clout chasing, I thought Canelo should have gave him the fight. What about you?
Most definitely he should have gave him the fight because, like I said, if you wanted to claim that you was the best at the division at the time when you was undisputed, you had to fight who a lot of people believe was the best guy at that division. Even though Canelo was the champ, a lot of people still believe that David Benavidez was the best guy at that division. So even though you're the champion, it doesn't always mean you're the best guy because you can be a champion without fighting the best guy. We've seen that happen time and time again in the sport of boxing, where guys get opportunities to become a champion without having to fight the best guys at the division.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because really, I'd say this: the way things kind of shook out, it made Canelo look like an opportunist. But I don't. I think Canelo really, to be honest with you, I think he'll fight anybody. I think that for him, on certain fights, you just got to pay him because a lot of people thought he wouldn't fight Terrence Crawford, but he did. You just got to pay him. Same thing when I remember Canelo said he wouldn't fight Jake Paul. We all heard about how Jake Paul had his name on the contract about to sign. Canelo just want to get paid. And from what I hear, I don't know this to be true, but they said that Turkey told Canelo, "Hey, if you don't take this fight, if you take this fight with Jake Paul, you can't get no money with us. We won't give you that big payday with Crawford." And guess what? He ended up getting William Skull fed to him. Then he fought Crawford and got beat to death. So I just think it's just tough, man. No matter how it go, man. These guys really, it's tough for these guys to really do their thing, man, because it's all about making the money. I think if the money don't make sense, guys won't even think about taking those fights. But speaking of that, do you think that the money is the main reason why we haven't seen more, as we call it, big fights to go, whether it's Boots and Ortiz or things like that? What would you say?
Um, I think the money is a part of it. I think people use the money as an excuse why the fight not happened. I don't think the money is the main reason. I think they use that as an excuse because you can't sit here and demand a certain amount of money when you have never made even close to that amount of money to fight anybody. And let's be honest, Jerome Bucetis never made $10 million. Virgil Ortiz never made $10 million. So to demand $10 million for a fight that neither one of y'all has ever made,
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it's outrageous. I would just say that's an excuse. You put a hurdle in the way of the fight that didn't have to be there. Now you could say I'm looking to get a certain amount, and you could throw $10 million out there just to see if they'll give it to you. But that can't be the number that you are fixed on. You never made nowhere near $10 million, so that can't be a
Mhm.
number that you're fixed on when you haven't made that amount of money. You've never been a champion.
Yeah. And the thing is, I think sometimes, and I was telling my man brother Bernard this. I think sometimes people be just pulling numbers out their butt, man. Because when I heard Virgil's manager saying that he won $10 million, I'm thinking like, how? Where you gonna get that from? Who told you
Yeah.
that you could even make that kind of money? You know what I mean? Fighting Bruce Ennis, like I don't know. It's just, I guess for me in boxing, I feel like we in a weird space where guys just make up numbers, and you be thinking to yourself like, where did you come up with that? And I don't know. I'll say this. The only thing I will say is that I hope that going forward, man, we can see more fights coming in 2026 because it's been like a log jam. Like I think Shakur been at what 135 since what 2019, and he hasn't unified
Uh,
yet.
yeah, he's been there. He's been there for about 4, maybe 5 years.
It seemed like it's longer than that, but it probably hasn't been. But it seemed like it is. But I'm just
Yeah,
wondering
I
why
think
these guys ain't unifying, man.
yeah, Shakur. No, Shakur. Actually, I take that back. Shakur's been at 135 for about 3 years. He's been at 135 for about 3 years because his first fight was Yoshino. That was his first
Hmm.
fight, and I think that was in 2022. Was his first fight with Yoshino. So yeah, it's been about 3 years.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, do you think it's a reason why these guys don't unify? I guess I'm just confused on why we not seeing nobody unifying, man. That's just for me. That's just getting old. What about you?
Um, you said, do I see that being the reason why who
No, I'm
didn't
saying why you
unify?
think they're not. I'm saying why you think these guys are not unifying.
Um, I think because well, one is the politics,
Hmm.
and two is because these guys, they a lot of these guys work their whole life to get in the position that they're in, so they can be considered a star or be considered as one of the best. And when you in that position, a lot of times nowadays, when you lose a fight, people seem to write you off. And I don't think these guys want to be written off by the public because they talk a lot of smack and get in there with the top level guys, there's a chance that you can lose. There's a great chance that you can lose. So I think they just have a little hesitation of getting in there. I think they eventually want to get in there, but I don't think it's when we expect them to get in there. I think it's more so they trying to make the most amount of money that they can possibly make before they absolutely have to get in there with these guys because they want to try to maximize their dollar.
Hmm. So when you say maximize their dollar, man, why do you think people don't kind of get excited when they hear like a fight like a Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua? Won't that be a fight that would give you big time money on it? What do you think?
Um, it will give you big time money. Um, but it also you got to look at each person is a little bit different because is it about the money or is it about becoming a champion or being the best in your division? Because when it comes to Jake Paul, most people don't look at Jake Paul as um, a realistic fighter. or boxer, I should say. They don't look at him as a realistic boxer because, truthfully speaking, he only fought, I think, like two, maybe three actual fighters. He got beat by one, and the other ones, I mean, they was very low level. So nobody really looks at Jake Paul as an actual boxer. So when you get in there with Jake Paul, you're like, okay, it's only a money grab. It's not really to show that you are the best in the division. So it all depends on the person. If the person is looking to get money, then yeah, it's a good idea to fight Jake Paul because you know that Jake Paul is going to have a lot of eyes on that event. But if you're looking to show that you're the best, Jake Paul is probably not the person that you want to fight because it doesn't do anything for your career as far as showing that you're the best.
So, and when you say it doesn't do enough for your career, my question would be this: with Jake Paul possibly beating the heavyweight champion of the world, and then we got my man Abdullah Mason getting ready to become champion. Would you say that Cleveland finally is going to be back on top as far as taking over the boxing world like we was back when we had Don King?
No. I mean, two guys cannot make the entire sport. Two guys do not make the entire sport. You got two guys. One guy is fighting a former world champion. You got another guy that's fighting for a championship, and a lot of people don't even know who Sam Noakes is. So I wouldn't say that Cleveland is back on top, taking over the sport of boxing by those two guys fighting the guys that they're fighting. I would say they will be very great for those two individuals' career.
Yeah. What's going on? We got my man Puerto Rican Juan fresh off the griddle, and we got my man Prize fresh out the vault counting money all day. What's going on, Juan? What you think about this, man? You got Jake Paul about to fight the heavyweight champion of the world. What you think about that, man?
Smart move. I mean, you go from a tank to another recognizable name. Smart move. Well played to him and his team. So can't really doubt the kid for that one. But he going to bed though. So that's all I know. He gonna take a nice nap. I said he going to bed. He gonna take a nice nap.
Hey, Juan, I thought I asked you a number of times, stay out of black people business, man. I thought I asked you that, man. Stay out of black folks' business, man. I thought I asked you about that, man.
This is a sick Negro.
Now we going to bed after we fighting the heavyweight champion of the world. Don't forget, two-time unified champion.
Nah. All jokes aside, kid. Whoever marketed him, I don't know. And shout out to Netflix for putting it on, but whoever marketed him and moving him, they moved him right with this one because you lost a lot of money with the tank thing, and then from out of nowhere to have one of the most recognizable names in the last probably 10 years to step in there and off of injury at that, what I'm saying, just to step in there in 4 weeks time. Hey bro, you mark y'all, bro, whoever your marketing team is, bro, they need 90 million exactly. just for real, bro, because bro, that's a smart ass move. So excuse my language, but that was a smart move for them, man. That's definitely on them.
So what would you say, Prize? I mean, you're a rich man yourself. What do you think about us going against the heavyweight champion of the world, man?
I mean, I ain't mad at Jake Paul for that. I mean, people criticizing him, but I mean, I don't know what else you want him to do. I ain't mad at him. It's a money grab, but I mean, he was
It's a money grab. Hold on.
He was a former unified heavyweight champion. I think he's going to smoke Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul has lost his mind, but salute to him for making the fight.
What happened when we beat him?
But if you beat him, that's incredible. But right, let's put it on like this, right? If he gets knocked out, right, and that's if he gets knocked out, you talking
about Joshua?
I'm talking about Jake. If he gets knocked out, which is probably most likely gonna happen, right? What's did he really take an L on that? Has he really taken an L on that? Because you got to think about it. You're supposed to do that. You really supposed to do that. Technically, Joshua is supposed to knock you out, right? Now you can go to whatever lane you after the loss, you can go whatever lane you want to go to. Okay, you want to become a world champion? All right, cool. So now you gotta really come in, fight these other dudes at the whatever weight class you coming in to fight at. You know what I'm saying? Come and fight these dudes, build yourself, build your name more than what you have it now. You know what I'm saying? Or the case may be, take another money fight with the other YouTuber, the other YouTuber from London. I forgot his name, but
KSI.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? You either way, he's taking a dub. That's a dub. Dub move. Because I'm guarantee you right now, I don't know how much guaranteed, and I ain't pocket watching, but I know that's more than 100 mil right there in his pocket just 4 weeks from now. So it's again a smart move. It's a smart move by him and his thing.
Yeah, I would say, like I've been saying all day when we found out that the fight was announced and it was made. If this is a legitimate fight, it's not an exhibition or anything like that. I give Jake Paul all of the credit because this is what we've been asking Jake Paul to do: get in there with a legitimate fighter. Stop pulling these guys from former MMA fighters, retire old veterans. Stop doing that. Get in there with a
Hey,
legitimate
free,
fighter.
stop doing that.
That was
Free, you
No,
crazy.
go.
I
Free,
mean
you told.
that's the truth. That's the truth. That's what he was been. That's what he's been doing. So I mean, that's what we've been asking him. Get in there with a legitimate fighter. If you want to be considered a professional boxer, get in there with a legitimate fighter. Stop getting these guys from that's been retired 20, 30 years from their respectable sport. Stop fighting basketball players. Get in there with a legitimate fighter. And that's what he's doing. So I gotta give Jake Paul credit. Like I said, if this is a legitimate fight, it's not an exhibition, and they ain't pulling no punches, I gotta give him credit because this is what we asked him to do.
See, my only thing is this, man. When they say that, I don't think people are giving Jake enough credit because he could get hurt, man. He can get hurt in there. He going against one of the biggest, blackest niggas you can find, Anthony Joshua, man. We seen Anthony Joshua really hurt Francis Ngannou. Have you seen Francis Ngannou awake since that fight? I haven't seen him awake. Have you guys seen him awake?
Yeah, it's a real fight. It's a real fight. It's on.
I mean, he really hurt him, man. It's on Box Rec.
It's a real fight. Yeah, it's a real fight. That one's a real fight. This is a real fight. It's an 8-rounder. So
I
obviously,
mean, see the thing is, but the thing is, they said it's on Box Rec and all that. Mike Tyson was on Box Rec. So
that
that's
was a
what
real
I
pro.
said.
That was a pro. That was a real pro fight. That's why they allowed.
No, but what I'm saying is, but we heard Mike Tyson say, Jake Paul, you paid me $10 million not to knock you out. So that's what I'm saying. If this is a legitimate fight, then I will give him the credit. But I don't know if it's a legitimate fight. We'll find out if we once the fight happens and we see AJ goes in there and really try to take his head off. Then we'll know. Okay, yeah, they ain't pulling no punches. AJ's trying to stop this dude.
Yeah, I know. I heard like 10 different things today though, because I was on B3's pick, and then I early in the morning, I listened to Boxing Voice a little bit. Somebody said that he put a rehydration clause, and I think I seen
that
you
is.
post. I heard you post that too, so I was like, I don't know that.
Yeah, he can't be 10 pounds past 245 the day of the fight.
That's
heavyweight. It ain't no weight clause in heavyweight.
I don't know
Did you hear Usyk tell Tyson Fury, hey, Tyson Fury, look, you're going to weigh in at 260, but you can't come in on fight night weighing 290. We ain't hear that. Whatever you weigh, what you weigh is heavyweight.
Because I think the biggest Joshua fights at is probably 265. I think that's what he walks around.
He's about, I think his last couple fights, he's about 250, 255, 249. Yeah. He's not a big, Joshua not a fat heavyweight, but I thought it was a good thing because he's taking a little steam off of him. It's corny and pathetic, and I think when he put that rehydration clause in, that's what get Jake when people get to hating. Because he know that's foul, man. You can't put no doggone rehydration clause. He can't be more than 10 pounds before the fight.
But he even when he fought Tyson though, he didn't really look explosive. Like he's explosive. Like he's an athlete. Like kid is an athlete. Him and his brother, they're both athletes. But like even when he fought Tyson, he looked fat. Like I looked at it, I was like, bro, you look fat. Like you're fat. Like you're really fat. Like He's not. I don't know. Like heavyweight probably is not his move. He probably is a natural cruiserweight, but it's just like it's really not your move to be at heavyweight, and then you're fighting somebody that's legitimately maybe top 7, maybe top 5, maybe. I got to really sit there and look at these rankings, but it's like,
Mm-hmm.
Man,
yeah, bro, you
prize,
might go to
man.
bed, bro.
We should have
You
got
might
we
take a
should have
nap.
got we should have got Ja Overtime, man. I think people don't realize that. I think Jake Paul could get Ja Overtime run for his money. That's what he should have went. And just think if he would have knocked Ja Overtime spark out, everybody would have still hated. But I
Now, but
think
you know what the issue is though, that
what's that?
his the name is not big, bro. It's not the name, bro. He needs the name. That's really kind of what it is with him though, like because he had a point right now. Like you're not young enough to be a prospect, but you're not old enough. I mean, you're young enough not to be a prospect, but you're not like crazy old. So it's like you kind of had to like kind of be rushed into things now. Like at this point, you're 28, 29. You kind of got to be
Hmm.
rushed into certain things now. So it's like instead of taking the time to really like, yo, let me build my name fighting these, lower level fighters, the C minus, the B minus, the Hasim Rahman Juniors, the let's say Jared Hurds or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You took your time out to fight Nate Robinson, my boy. Like you doing that? That's what we're doing now. You
Well, he the
fighting
slam dunk champion though.
my boy. You fighting my boy Ben Askren that don't know how to throw a strike to save his life. You take
Wow.
you fighting Nate Diaz that look like he
Man, the
just
hate is
crawled out of
real.
bed. Like, come on, bro, come on, my
The
boy.
hate
Like,
is real, man. Hate is real, bro. He
nah,
be
nah,
ending this. He be Anderson Silver, man. Stop, dude. This is wild,
BBO,
bro. This a
man,
white
and
boy you
listen, bro.
talking about like him. You talking about him like a dog, man. You talking about him like a dog. I've never seen now. Whenever you bring and free, you gonna let this Puerto Rican talk like that?
Hey,
Free.
That's exactly what I be saying, free. That's why I be telling you, Puerto Rican stay out of black people business. He just doing this dog and Jay. He
I
doing
didn't
the
hear him.
whole thing.
I didn't hear him say anything wrong.
He just dog Jay. I mean, dang. I hope when he see you, man, he put hands on you, man. You a wild boy. I can't believe you said all that.
Hey,
And
guess
you
what?
said it with your back straight, man. You know Jake Paul is going against the heavyweight champion of the world. You gotta give him some
And
respect for that.
again, I give him all the credit for this. This is not. I'm not joking. I give him all the credit for this. Him and his marketing team. But my boy, you done fought two retired NBA players, one
No,
dude that can't throw a punch to
he
save
fought,
his
he
life.
fought Anderson. You telling me Anderson Silva ain't one of the greatest fighters in
No,
combat
he
sports
is.
history?
He
He's
is.
one of
He
the
is. He
oldest
is. He
fighters.
is. I'll
He's
give him
one of the
that one. I'll
oldest.
give him that one. He
He's
is.
one of the
I'll give him
oldest.
that one.
And then what about Tyron Woodley, one of the greatest welterweight champions in UFC
No,
history?
hold on, man. Look, we're talking about boxing. We're not talking about MMA. I mean,
Wrestling.
if you want to talk
Wrestling.
about MMA, then let's go see him get in the cage and take some elbows, take some knees, take some kicks to the face. Let's see them do that.
Yeah,
But
you
we're
won't see
talking
that
about
free.
boxing.
That ain't
Tell me,
happening.
That shit's
tell me
great.
when have you seen Tyron Woodley, Anderson Silva, and who was the other guy? I
Nate
forgot who the other
Aspinall,
guy was.
no
Yeah, tell me
Michael
Mitchell
when you
Perry.
see
Bryant.
those guys
He fought Mike
actually
Perry.
fight in a boxing matchup, a professional boxing matchup. Now
Well,
I know these guys have trained in boxing because they fight MMA, so you got to cover all aspect of combat sporting,
mhm.
but they haven't been professional boxers. So
Yeah.
I'm not buying old Anderson Silva. Like I understand he's a former MMA legend, but this man, the reason why it's called former is because he don't fight anymore. He don't fight anymore.
Wow, your hate is crazy, free.
Nah,
Hey,
you know what though? You know what though? Like again, like we're giving him credit for this one. We're gonna give him all the credit. Even if you get knocked out, I'm giving you credit because you went in there and fought. BVO, you go ahead. You can say it right quick. Go ahead, because I'm not
he
even gonna say it like
he
that.
fighting one of the baddest niggas in the world. Shoot to my brother Johnny.
Wow.
Shoot to my brother Johnny from the hangout spot showing love, man.
Hey,
Johnny, these brothers in here saying that Jake Paul is not the man. He just about to go. He about to fight the heavyweight champion. He said,
yo,
man.
former heavyweight champion. Stop
He
playing
said.
heavyweight champion. He is
He
not
said,
EJ
fighting
man.
Smith,
Usyk.
man. Hey,
These
Usyk
yo,
is
bro.
not
dudes,
getting in
man.
the ring.
Nah, my boy talk about my boy's like he fighting Ben Askren. He said Ben Askren is a goat. Either he when he goes, He fought
Hold on, hold on,
two-time
hold on,
dunk
hold on, Juan.
champion.
Hold on, Juan. You make steak sandwiches. I wash cars and free do security. So let's ask a real fighter. Ishay, we just seen Jake Paul about to fight the heavyweight champion of the world, man. What you think about that?
Isn't he the former heavyweight champion of the world though?
Ishay, why you doing that? Ishay, why you doing
He the
that?
former man. He the
Why
former.
you doing that?
He former.
Ishay, you wrong, man. Why you doing that, man?
You know, I, you got to applaud his desire to want to fight and prove he belong. I just don't know, the skills don't match the heart. It takes a lot of, even against the fights he's had, it takes a lot of heart to get in there for anybody to get in the ring, right? So I'm gonna give him credit for that because it takes a different type of person to become a boxer and be willing to sacrifice. And he does train. With that being said, I do not remotely see him being able to do anything against Joshua. And it's a bad look on Joshua if Joshua gets clipped with something and gets dropped or something, man, because it will be a really bad look on him. So I mean, kudos for him for taking the fight and not taking the easy way out. But if he somehow was to beat Joshua, even with just a month training, dude, there's no way that, I mean, we're talking about a former heavyweight champion of the world. We're talking about Olympic gold medalist. We're talking about a guy that's been in there with some of the best fighters, not the best chin in the world, but he is one of the at one time one of the best heavyweights in the world. So if he was to slip up and lose to Jake Paul, even with the 8 3-minute rounds, if you can't go out there and get this guy out of there within like 3 to 4 rounds, it's really a bad look on Anthony Joshua. And if he was to get knocked out or even
Uh,
lose, you would have to question his whole career. You can't just say, "Oh, he did it for the money." It's just a bad look if he was to lose that fight, man. A really, really bad look. You would really have to question everything prior to the Jake Paul thing, and you would have to give Jake Paul credit. It would be no choice. I've been a Jake Paul critic outside of him doing what he's been doing. I think he's good for the sport. He has a good platform, and I don't think he's a real fighter. But if he was to beat Joshua, all that will go out the window, man. I couldn't talk shit about him at all no more, man. It's nothing I could say.
But this is even what I said about earlier. Like like I said to BVO, I was like, look, listen, like even if he like gets knocked out, which most likely will happen, right? Let's say he gets knocked out, right, and then he comes back and let's say he's still pursuing the I want to be a world champ something. You know what I'm saying? You gotta kind of like throw yourself in there now. Like you can't. You're at that age where you 28, 29. Like you gotta throw yourself into the contention with somebody that's high level. Even I can't see it happening. So even then, you know what I'm saying? For him to be like, all right, well, I'm gonna get knocked out here, and then make millions of dollars again with another fight with freaking KSI or something. He not losing. He really not losing in life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the kid is not losing in life. Like he did out what he's came out to do
Well,
is
he
make money.
he not he not losing anyway. He's broke the code of the game. I mean, if he was to end it all today, he won. He's a multimillionaire. He's made arguably more money than like 99% of boxers have ever made. If you think some of the biggest fighters in the world right now, he's made more money than them.
Yeah.
Outside of
Fact.
like outside of like Canelo, maybe Joshua. I mean, the list of fighters making more money than him or have made more money than him, it is very slim, dog. It's not a lot. I mean, it's probably not 10 fighters in the game today making more money than Jake Paul. So no matter what happens to this fight, no matter what happens, no matter what we say about man, he broke the code. Because you can't do the shit he's doing in no other sport. I can't go trick the game and become an NFL football player or an NBA basketball player. He tricked the game He used his fan base. He started fighting basketball players, retired MMA fighters. He brought that following into the game. He was able to get big deals with Netflix and big deals on TV and pay-per-view. Man, he broke the code. And this
Yeah,
guy is a millionaire. Him and his brother, they both
yeah.
have. But I would even say more so him. He even more than his brother doing the WWE stuff, more so him, for him to come in and break the code in this game like he's done, and promote the people, promote the women, and have a couple fighters and trying to build a legit team. No matter what we say about him, no matter if he gets parked in 1 round, 2 rounds, 3 rounds, dog, the dude is living. He'll never have to work another day in his life, and he's made multi millions of dollars off of just boxing alone, and that says a lot, man. He broke the code, so it won't be no hate on me, from what he's done, man. He's done, like I said, he broke the code, and 99% of boxers, man, he done made more money than him, and that says a lot about this sport and a lot about this game. But to allow that to take place, that to me is just insane. It's crazy.
It's like the social media thing. It's the social
Let me
media
say
thing.
this. Let me say this because Isha, I always tell one he a Puerto Rican instead of black people business, man. But he don't understand, man. This is a great fight. We about to come off beating Mike Tyson, Iron Mike Tyson.
Yo,
Then you going
stop,
against
stop,
the
stop,
heavyweight
man.
champion.
Stop, man.
What you
Stop.
Isha? What you mean? Stop. He beat
Stop,
Mike
man.
Tyson, man.
Stop. Man,
Stop it, man.
This your boy. This your boy.
Mike Tyson was 106 years old when he fought him, man. That man,
Oh,
listen, that wasn't even Mike Tyson, dog. Look, you got to be happy Mike got himself a bag, but you don't want to see Mike going out like that, man. I mean, there's a time for these exhibitions, and you see guys, and you give him kudos. Like I'm happy Joshua is getting a bag that it's not really a big risk for him. It's a guy he should run circles around. It should be like Michael Jordan in his prime, or step back or turnaround jumper Michael Jordan playing somebody in the YMCA that is just a good baller. That's how we should be looking at this. So you got to give the guy credit in that aspect. But man, like the Mike Tysons and all of that, like, come on, man. Mike, I'm happy Mike got a bag, because it's hard I'm gonna applaud anytime fighters get a bag, but he shouldn't have been fighting Mike, man. Mike is closer to like AARP than the prime Mike, man. He's old,
wow,
man.
wow. You
He's
gonna do
old.
that, Isha? Isha, you
Yeah,
gonna do
Mike is
that,
old. Man, Mike is Mike is old enough to be that kid's father. And that
Yeah.
says a lot about the situation right there. That says a lot about the
I
situation
mean, I
right
mean,
there.
I always thought like if he was gonna fight Rahman Jr., I was like, yo, that would have been a fight for him to be like, all right, you really got to show me what you really good, because like Rahman can fight, like little Rahman can fight, but that never materialized. And then like the Julio Cesar Chavez thing, it materialized, but it was like, to me, it was like, bro,
Yeah,
that's just
another.
Julio
Hold
Cesar.
on, hold on. That's
Cesar,
another former champion
man, but
that he
Man,
Cesar
beat.
Chavez was a
but come,
bum, bro.
man,
Like,
he's I won't say. I
nah,
don't like.
you
I
gotta
ain't gonna
call him.
call him. I ain't gonna call him a bum, because he did become a world champion. But I will say is he's abused his body. He's a drug addict. He does
Oh my God.
never took the game serious, man. Just never took it serious. And as a pride, boxers have so much pride, and for you to lose to a guy, and you was a former world champion, for you to lose, it's like it's not a good look. Like, if they was to call me today to fight Jake Paul, I'm gonna have so much pride that I'm gonna treat it like it's a real camp. And if I don't feel like I could I'm gonna go out there to try to win. I just feel like, guys like Chavez, and like, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say he's a bum, but at this stage,
Champ, you
he's
being
treat he
unfair.
cheated he cheated the game, man.
You being unfair, champ. You being unfair.
Nah, man.
I'm gonna tell you why you being unfair. Because you know that it's hard to win a world championship.
I
Think
mean,
about it.
it's
Let
not
me
really,
say this
because
real quick,
he
Juan.
got
Let me say this
two
real quick,
gifts.
Juan. I'm gonna say this. Think about it. You know how hard it is to become a champion. Think about this. Floyd Sr. never was a champion. Ever. It's hard to become a champion in boxing. So I can't sit here and never say a dude who won a belt is a bum. Now,
No,
does he got
I said he wasn't a bum. I said he wasn't a bum, but you can't deny that throughout his career he's treated the game. You got to be faithful to the game if the game gonna be faithful to you. And when you hear reports of doing drugs and coke and all this other shit, man, you took advantage of the game, and you got to have pride. Most fighters have pride, man. I've been in these gyms where a lot of old fighters are ready to go. Like, they'll be arguing with each other or arguing with some cats, and they'll be old, and they'll be like, motherfucker, let's put the gloves on right now. Like, the fighters fight, and you just like, man, sit your old ass down somewhere. Like, I've been around these guys and had conversations with like the Riddick Bows and just guys from that I grew up watching in the gyms, and I've been around them, and I just know how we have so much pride. So for you to go out there and look like shit against Jake Paul, and Jake Paul looks like nothing special, that you shouldn't be putting yourself in that situation, man. That's just terrible, because it is hard to become a world champion. And for you to go out there and you to be a world champion and you to go out there and look as bad as you look and actually lose to that guy, that's terrible.
Hey, salute to my guy, Just Dude, man. People don't know this, man. Just Dude was one of the first people to let me rock on his show, man. Shout out to Just Dude, man. So whenever I see him, I'm Ed McMahon, and that's Johnny Carson, man. So shout out to my man, Just Dude. But I'm going to ask you this, Ishay, because I think you're being unfair to Jake. And we're going to talk about some other stuff. But you saw if Jake had waves on the beard, would you be rooting for him?
No, I don't think it doesn't matter who he is. I don't think he can fight. I think he figured out a niche, and I salute him for making his money. But there's not one person on this podcast right now that would think that you see Jake Paul and you be like, that shit is nice. What he doing is nice. I could man, that's not nobody on here see anything he does and thinks is nice. I think he makes a lot of mistakes. And I would be shocked if this fight goes over 3 rounds, 4 rounds. And I would be even shocked if Joshua was to get in trouble or get hurt or anything, man. Because wasn't it was Fury that played with Ngannou. And then it was Joshua that was like, let me show you how this shit really done. You know what I'm saying?
I don't think Fury meant to do that, though. I don't think Fury meant to do that.
No, he took him way too lightly. I mean, you getting dropped by an MMA guy is terrible. And man, those guys can't fight. Those guys can't box. Just like we can't step into their arena, right? And it'd be like Fury going into MMA and giving Ngannou like the toughest fight of his life, and that was a life or death situation with Fury. He got dropped and everything. It's like, bro, what the fuck are we doing here? And it was Joshua who was like, come on, man, I'm gonna show this. I think Joshua just has a lot of pride. I know fighters have a lot of pride, and I can't see it going over 3 rounds, man. I don't see nothing Jake does boxing wise that he makes so many mistakes in the ring, man. I don't see it. And it's a good payday. Pretty sure he'll cash the bank. I'm pretty sure Joshua gonna cash the bank, but it's just I don't see him doing anything to warrant a decision.
Let me say this real quick. I'm gonna bring you in, Juan. But shout out to you, man, because I would have thought you and Puerto Rican Freak talk. Because Freak just got done undressing Jake Paul the same way, which is ridiculous, but it's all right. My man TD said, he said hater, he be hitting me when I'm down. That's from Puerto Rican Tommy, the white dude.
I mean, Ishay, I'm not gonna lie to you. You talking about, nobody on this channel thinks that Jake Paul got a chance. But you talking to BVO, BVO thinking he got a chance in the world. He said he gonna knock him out and all that. I was like, hey,
I'm from Cleveland. I'm from Cleveland, Ishay. I'm from Cleveland. Just like I know
Man,
you probably root for Devin Haney. I root for the local guys, man. You know what I mean?
man, I don't. It's just I don't know, man. I just go off skills. It's just this isn't.
Oh, you
I don't.
don't.
I
Oh, you
don't.
don't root for the local guys at all.
No, I mean I'm gonna support, but I just don't. I mean, you find the Olympic gold medalist, a former. I think he was undisputed or unified champion.
Unified.
Unified champion of the
Twice.
world. And bro, it would be asinine for anybody, a guy that has more guys on his record that never boxed a day in their life, basketball players and retired MMA fighters and all kinds of shit. And the time he stepped up against Tommy Fury, he lost. It would be asinine for me to think that that's going to be competitive. I would have to really question like my existence in the game for
Oh
over
my god.
3 decades if it was even remotely close. It shouldn't even be. uh, Anybody can get hit and get hurt. So, but if Joshua is just on his B game, C
Mhm.
game, there's just absolutely no way that I don't see it, man. The guy still makes a lot of mistakes. There's not. You don't look at him and think he can compete with real boxers. You don't. You
Yeah,
look at him and say
what if
you
he
give
knocks
him
the spark
credit.
out though? What if he knocks the spark out though? Like, what if they like
Yeah, like I
exchange or something?
said everybody can get clipped. Like if Joshua was if Joshua was to go out there and get clipped and get knocked out, we would have to question everything. And I don't think he wants that on his jacket. He don't wants that. You go to the Hall of Fame. Let's say he gets inducted to the Hall of Fame in the future. Everybody there is going to be remembering he got knocked out by Jake Paul. That's such a bad look. Why would you want to put that on? I don't even know if you get knocked out by Jake Paul and that goes on your record. If you can even get, who's going to nominate you to the Hall of Fame? You got knocked out.
Yo,
You got
he said,
you got
you
knocked
going
out by
scorched
knock.
earth, man. You going
That's just
scorched earth
crazy.
on this, man. I gotta play your drop now, you said.
This is a sick Negro.
Let's go, man. Let's
You can't.
go.
You can't get nominated to the Hall of Fame if you got knocked out by Jake Paul. You just can't.
That's
There's
crazy.
just
What's
no
going?
way. No way.
We got. He said we got my man, Coach Bernard Hacking in the house, man. Coach, you just missed it. He said just went scorched earth on Cleveland's own Jake Paul for no reason. Even though we seen an old Joe Louis get in there with Rocky Marciano, they still counted. He's saying
Those are
that
two
us going
fighters, man. Those are two fighters. Come on, man.
You go. What I'm saying is we going in there with the heavyweight champ, and my man Ishe said he say if that Joshua should just knock him out, it shouldn't be nothing. What you think about that, Coach?
I think Ishay's 100% correct because he's looking at it from the vision of a fighter. But when you look at it from the vision of the business don't want Jake Paul to get knocked out. The business making too much money off of him. They're making too much money with him. But that's why they're selective in the opponents they pick. They couldn't put a fighter like Ishe in there with him because they already know what Ishe trying to do. I'm gonna finish it for boxing.
You probably would do that.
No,
I mean, it's a fact.
see, I do agree with that, but there's just all fighters have just an amount of pride, and he hasn't been in there with one like real. This is to me his first real fighter. Take away the drugs, take away the Tommy Fury. He really couldn't fight. We don't know. He's not that good. This is the first legit fighter that we say this dude can fight minus the hiccups with the chin. This dude can fight. You know how hard it is to win a gold medal, bro? That's not easy. And I would say, it's probably it's just as hard as becoming a world champion. Especially it's just as hard as becoming a world champion. To win a gold medal is tough, man. We haven't had a gold medal, I don't think, since Andre Ward.
And
That was our
you got to think about
last
like the
gold
people
medal.
he had to go through though. You got to think
Yeah,
the people he
the
had to
people
go
he got to
through.
go
And
through to get. Yeah, man, it's hard as shit to win. You know how many great fighters never won a gold medal? You know how many great fighters also became world champion that didn't win a gold medal? He did it both. So I don't see remotely. I just if he would go in there and take some type of like I'm gonna carry this dude or I'm gonna play with this dude, I'm gonna make this shit. I'm gonna lose all respect. I would lose all respect as the fighter. And the fighter in me, then I would have to question all these conspiracies that dudes is taking dive because there's no this fight shouldn't be competitive. You know, even when they was talking about it was going to be Ward, I said somebody was like Ward ain't in shape. He ain't had a fight in a while. I said, shit, Ward only need about a month. He don't need much time to get ready for this dude. Like, come on, man. What are we talking about here? It's some things you just need to work around the rust. But man, if you a fighter, man, you know how to fight. That's just the bottom line. You'll always know how to fight. You may not be as sharp as you once was. You not be able to see the punches, but you once able to. But dude, there's no way a dude like that should be able to get in the ring and beat you at any level when you have done the things that Joshua has done. So I just don't see it. I don't care what the public wants. I don't see it. I just can't see it, bro. He got to make me a believer. And if he got to make me a believer.
I was talking to my coworker today, and my coworker, he excited about it, but he a casual and stuff, so he be excited about it. And I was like, bro,
that's what we need. We don't need me and you. All I'm gonna do is says Bob B and watch the fight.
And it's a fact. But like again, like Ishe Smith said, like, bro, like, yo, bro, you gotta like really look at this situation. Like, even him coming off this injury, you gotta look at like, bro, him one-handed, bro, he's still 95% better than Jake Paul. Like, it's not even close. It's not even supposed to be close. You're supposed to be out of there maybe 2 rounds. I'll give him maximum 4. But
that's what I say. Yeah, I'm going with you.
2 rounds.
4, bro. If it's not over by 4, I will be. If it's not over by 4 rounds, it's a lose for Joshua unless he knocks him out late. It's a lose.
I mean, y'all gotta look at the fact that Anthony Joshua is coming off a knockout loss to Daniel Dubois, and then go in there and lose to Jake Paul. People will definitely question Anthony Joshua after that.
Yeah, nah, he gonna have to push that button. He gonna have to push that.
You don't want to become a meme.
Yeah,
and I think if Joshua was to lose this fight in any capacity, he becomes a meme. Do you know the shit that Tyson Fury or his peers would talk about him losing to Jake Paul? Bro, it's just because the thing about it is he's gonna make good money. But let's not act like Joshua hasn't made big bags before.
He's super rich. He's super rich.
He's super rich. He's made some big ass bags. So I don't even know this will be a career high payday for him. I have no idea. But let's not act like this man hasn't made millions upon millions off of fights. He's packed the Wembley. Like, he's made millions. So this can't be just a money grab. So you can see
he made $80 million his last fight.
That's what I'm saying. You can see Tank cashing out, saying, okay, Tank is gonna make more money than he's made fighting anybody with this dude. Okay, get your bread. But dog, or he's gonna get close to it. But Joshua, it's not even in the same realm of how much money this cat has made since he's been professional. So, and he's had good sponsors as well coming up in the game.
Under Armour,
to go out there and even remotely look like shit, or perhaps even lose or get dropped, is such a bad look, man. You don't even play with this dude. You go out there and you get his ass up out of there. I don't even care.
Oh my God!
I don't even care.
Hold on. No, you're in the chat talking about get him out of there immediately.
Get him out of there, dog. You don't
bro,
even
it's not even
play.
Supposed to go 2 rounds, bro.
It's not, dog. You're a former Olympic gold medalist, a former unified heavyweight champion, and you've been in there with some of the best heavyweights in the world, and you go life or death with a fucking YouTuber who's never had no amateur experience, nothing. He's got like 13 or 14 fights of his life, no amateur. Bro, you get get his ass out of there. You
Oh
spark
my
him and
God.
you let him know what boxing is about. You don't
That's a
carry
fact.
him. You don't play with him. You get his ass up out of there, bro. You don't play with
That's a
Oh
him at
my
fact.
all.
He's
God.
not even joking with that.
Oh
You
my
get his
God.
ass out
But
of
no,
there,
you
bro.
you're the champ talking like that. You're the champ talking like that. Get him out of there.
Get
Get
him
him
out
out
of
of there,
there,
bro.
bro. Why
Get him
you
out of
why
there.
you even playing with him, giving him any confidence? You're fucking Michael Jordan. This guy is a local dude that talking about I could have made the NBA if my grades was right. Man, get
And
his ass out of
you
there,
you you
man.
not even you not even Michael Jordan. You Ron Harper at
And
that point. Like
I'd rather said I could have made it if my grades was right.
Yeah, man, get his ass up out of there, bro. Get his ass out of there. You don't play with him. You don't even, bro. Get his ass out of there. Collect your money and keep it moving, dog. And that's what you do.
Issa,
Why did you?
can I ask you a
Why
question,
did you
Issa?
even? Why you even call me? That's what I'm saying. At that, why did this dude even call me? Pick this dude up and somebody get him some milk.
I'm
Go ahead,
glad you
Juan.
said it, Champ. Champ, I'm glad you said it because every time I say something related to you have to have put gloves on and been in that square, people always tell me this what I feel. When you hear from boxers that people who ain't never put gloves on and got in there and competed should have no opinion, and their opinion is always the exact same, I'm glad you said it. There's no way in the world he could win this. He could win the fight, and it's competitive, and they still gonna give him the blues. It could be
Mm-hmm.
competitive, and they're gonna give him the blues because the
Exactly.
level of opposition he been there with. This fight is supposed to go about 5 minutes, including the break time in one of the first round.
You said 5 minutes. That's including the wing walk. That's including the ring
Dude,
walk.
this dude is supposed to be not TKO, not
Knocked out.
he's supposed to be on the ground with the ref counting and looking at him like, damn, he ain't getting up. That's how this fight should be, bro. It shouldn't even be remotely close at
Yeah.
all.
Nah.
Remotely close. Like, bro, like what are we talking about? Like
Yeah, that's a fact.
what are we talking about here? We're not talking about him going up against some fighter that was, pro back in the 80s or 90s or early 2000s, bro. We talking about a guy that, 4 or 5 years ago or 3 years ago, 2 years ago was on top of the game. A
Mm-hmm.
guy that
Yeah.
fought, a guy that fought the undisputed heavyweight champion, what, twice? He fought
Mm-hmm.
him twice. Like, bro, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, this shit shouldn't even go to 1 round. It should 2 rounds. Over two
Mm-hmm.
rounds, and it's a loss, bro. Get his ass out of there. Get him out of there, bro. Like, what
This
are we
Oh, I
knockout
talking?
should
could.
this knockout should remind you of when Tank knocked out Santa Cruz. It should be the
It
same
should
style
be.
knockout.
It's the
Yep.
same style. Same
Brutally.
style. Get his
Nah,
ass out
it
of
should be
there
the one.
and
It should be
make
the one. It should be the one that he did in Ghana with, bro. That
yeah.
hold him like a lawn chair, get him asses by out of
Make
here,
that
man. Get him out of here,
motherfucker
man.
go back to fighting YouTubers and other motherfuckers. That's what you should make him do. Make him go back to fighting MMA fighters and basketball players and all that shit. Get his ass out of there, bro. If I was in the
Shit.
corner, I would tell him, we gonna have a real camp. We gonna have he got a good, good month. So good 3 weeks. He can really get it in, really tune off the last week, fight week. And I would tell him, yo, we going all out. These next 3 weeks, you're gonna run and train like it's a heavyweight fight. Get his ass out of there. If I'm in the
Nah,
corner,
facts.
get his ass out of there. He is
Nah,
nowhere.
Oh
It
my
is
God.
it's
that's a
levels
fact.
to this shit, bro. It is levels to this shit. He is nowhere on your level. We are talking about an active fighter. I don't give a fuck if he just had came back from getting his motherfucking neck broke in a car accident. Get his ass out of there, bro. It's
Send his
not
ass back
close.
to Disney. Send his
Well, let
Yep,
ass
me
back
say
to
that.
Disney.
Let me say this, man, because salute to the champ for coming in and telling us that. But I want to ask you this, champ. Now we got one of the best young fighters in the world, man. Abdullah Mason getting the chance to become a world champion. What you think about this young kid? Have you watched a lot of
I
him? Or?
think I've seen some of them. He's good, man. He's real good. I think he's in a tough one though. It's a pretty tough fight, ain't it?
Yeah. Notes is known to knock the chocolate out of somebody, man. He known to knock people
Yeah,
out.
yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that's a tough fight. And Abdullah, is that the one that's been down early, but he get up and he finish him?
he was on his pockets, man. I think twice, almost three times when he fought a dude with a shag. I can't remember the dude's name, but he
Yeah,
got up
man,
and
you
knocked
got
him out though.
yeah, you got to be careful, man, because the more you move up in ranks, the harder them dudes punching, man. They'll chin check you early, man. And shit, you don't want to get some of them guys, man. They chin check you early. They'll look to finish you, try to get you up out of there. But no, I like him. I like him. He a good little fighter, man. He real good.
Yeah.
So when you see him, do you think he a guy that you can see maybe? I don't know if he can be as great as like a. Well, he looked garbage, so I can't even bring up Emiliano because I don't know if you seen him. He looked garbage his last fight. He went life and death with a cab driver, man. It was bad. It was bad. The guy he hadn't fought in like they said what was it 15 months, 16 months? It was
Who,
bad. So I don't
Jonathan
know.
Jonathan Correll?
Yeah, what was it 15 months they said he
Jonathan
hadn't
Corell
fought?
can fight though. Jonathan Corell for real can fight. Like he
No,
can fight.
you ain't supposed to let him put hands on you the way he
Nah,
got
bro.
hands
He
put
he
on
he
him.
he
Man,
he went he
man,
went he went
that
a couple rounds with a lot of dudes. BVO. He went a lot of rounds with a lot of dudes. That boy can fight. Boy can fight. Boy
Yeah.
can fight. Like if you know, you know. Like dudes that can fight, they know how to last. They know how to survive. He can fight. Boy can fight.
So that being said, another person on the card, I know you heard about Debo Dev, or sometimes we call him Black Jesus Haney, getting up against Brian Norman. How you see that fight playing out?
that's a very tough fight for Haney, man. That's a very I give him all the credit in the world for taking the fight. I've heard nothing but horror stories from Brian Norman. Just straight from the gym. Just straight from the gym, like him sparring Crawford, and just it reminds me a lot of myself of how I came up sparring people, because that's where I got known, whooping ass in gyms, or getting called to like the Mosley camp, De La Hoya camp, Vargas camp. And I made my name doing that, and everybody wanted to know who I was. So yeah, that's a very tough fight, man. A very, very tough fight. The only thing that worries me about Brian Norman is that Haney can box. So Norman, is he gonna let him outbox him? But if Haney tries to do what he did and say, you know what, I'm gonna go out here and prove, because I think Garcia had got knocked out against Tank. So Haney went out there like, I'm gonna do the same shit that Tank did. I'm gonna show him my power and this, man. Stick to what you know. And he should have boxed and used better defense against Ryan. Even though I don't give Ryan no credit because he was fucking drugged up, but still, it was what it was. So, but at the end of the day, if Haney beats him and beats him convincingly, then they gotta chill on the disrespect, dog. They really do, because that guy is good, man. And like I said, I'm not even going off the fights. I'm just going straight off what I've heard he's done to people just in the gym, just straight in the gym. And that's where some fighters make their name. And he's a world champion now. So hey, man, that's a tough fight for Haney. All kudos to him, because him and his dad say they want the best. They try to make the big fights. People duck and dodge and don't want to fight. But man, him going up and fighting this dude, this show you them dudes really mean what they say. They want to fight the best, and they want to be known as one of the best to do it in this era. So I give Haney credit, man.
Have you ever seen a non-puncher fight so many punches like he do? Whether it was the JoJo Diaz, the Linares, I've never really. Because to me, people get upset when I say this. I look at Devin as a bigger Polo Malignaggi, a guy who can really
I,
box,
I
a guy
don't
who's
think
smart.
I think he's a little bit stronger than Paulie. And I think Paulie may have been a little better boxer than Haney, because Paulie to me had a better jab.
Mhm.
Paulie did a lot for a fighter that didn't have that much power. I
Yeah,
think he became a world champion twice. And in that
yeah.
weight class,
Two
that was hard.
divisions.
Two divisions. So that is hard to do with not much power. And so I would think I think Devin's stronger than Paulie, and I think Paulie is a little bit of a better boxer, because you wasn't. Listen, man. If Paulie would have, the younger Paulie would have fought Brian Garcia, Garcia wouldn't have caught him with none of that shit. He wouldn't have because Paulie
Yeah,
was better. Paulie was better defensively and he was better boxing. It was just he was very hard to catch. And I think Devin wanted to prove his bravado, like I can punch. And man, stick to what you know. Stick to what you good at, man. You ain't go out here fighting for no damn fans or nothing. So that's the only thing that worries me about this fight. It worries me about this Devin fight is Brian is Brian Norman gonna be able to catch Devin if he boxes, and is Devin gonna box the whole time? Or is he gonna try to get some bravado, some bullshit like I know I can punch, so I'm gonna show you I can punch, and he just needs to do what he do. But I still, overall, I don't know who's better at doing what. So we're gonna find that out real early. Is Devin gonna be better boxing? Because he's got to know he can't sit there and trade punches with dude, dog. He just can't. I don't think he can trade punches with that guy because once you get knocked down like that, even though he showed a lot of heart, fighters know it can happen again, man. So you got to do what you do. Stay on the outside and box, man. But that's a great fight, and I applaud him and his dad, man. I don't know why they get so much hate, but I applaud him and his dad for taking the tough fights, man. Because it ain't nobody in this weight class or was in his weight that would have fought Brian Norman. Nobody. And I'm talking about the
yeah,
Teofimos, all of them. Would nobody move up and be like, I want the best. I want one of the best in the weight class. The guy that the boogeyman that everybody's scared of. Give me him. So more credit to him, and he never cheats the game. He's always prepared. He's always ripped. He's always in good shape. I don't know what the fans want, man. They want fighters to give them the best, and they give them the best, and they hate.
yeah. I don't know to tell you the truth, and Prize and Free can speak to it more. I don't know why Devin gets more. What would you say, Prize and Free? Oh, I think they might have fell down the steps. Can y'all hear me? Prize Free? Yeah, I think they fell on the steps. But I don't know. I don't know why they get why he gets so much hate. Go ahead.
I think Dev get a lot of hate because people don't like his dad. I think that's where the hate come from because they don't like his dad. They don't like the way his dad says things. They just don't like the fact that he's black and him and his dad are doing it their way. That's where I think the hate come from. And it's just sad that most of the hate come from the people who look like him.
That's
So
facts.
yeah, so like I said, I don't think they pay much attention. Uh yeah, if you ain't trying to get a fight with them, I don't see how you can give them any hate because as fans, I always say it's not a single fan that can get in the ring and do nothing with him. He'll knock out 100 fans in one night with no punching power.
He would.
We gotta remember, we did see Devin at the fair hit that dude at the fair. That dude ate that punch. But I'm joking. I'm joking. But that being said, I don't know how much you've been keeping up with the heavyweights, Ishe, but we seen Usyk drop another belt to avoid Fabio Wardley. Do you think that's a bad look to avoid that fight because he said there's not enough money?
I think what could he accomplish? I mean, it's probably what's motivating him now is probably the big paydays, the big fights, the big paydays. And, this guy is going to go down as one of the best, not just the best, he's going to go down as one of the best heavyweights to do it and one of the best cruiserweights to do it. I even would say he's done it better than Holyfield did it, coming from cruiserweight. So, and when you got guys like that, it's the big fights that motivate them. It's the money, the payday, that motivates them. And I just don't, I would have probably did the same. They do too much with the belts. You got all the belts. Now you got to fight this guy. This mandatory become. Now I'm interested to see what who he will fight um instead of his mandatory. Like, what's the next fight? What will we get? Because when you do that and you're willing to give up a belt, it's got to be something bigger in the line. Because if you're gonna go make the same money, then why did you give up the belt? But it's hard keeping all them belts, man. Undisputed champions never last because the sanctioning bodies make it ridiculous. you know, and they
When
should
you say
all
you make it
be
ridiculous, what's that mean? You talking about because the like
the
is
just
that
just
you?
just
Go ahead.
just the mandatories, the mandatories of how they want, people to defend their titles, and you having to fight this guy first and that guy. Like, come on, man. I think when you become undisputed, they got all these damn belts. They got interim and this belt and that belt. They got so many belts. And I think when you become undisputed, the sanctioning body should really embody you wanting to take the big fights because they're making all the damn money. You got to pay them a percentage of your purse. I forgot exactly how much. It's like 3% or some shit you got to pay all them. It costs a lot of money to keep them damn belts and defending them. So I don't blame them.
And
When you
it's not
say
get in line money. It's also if you make $10 million and it's 3%, each one of them get 3% off of 10 million, not
Exactly.
3%. And then no, they all get
Exactly.
3% off 10
They
million.
all getting, yeah, they all getting their percentage.
Correct.
Exactly.
when you,
Which
when
is
you say when you
crazy.
say a percentage, that come from the purse, or you gotta how does that
No,
work?
that come from your purse. Yep, come from your purse. Sanctioning fees. Yep. Cost
That's
money,
crazy.
man.
So do they give you anything other than that belt?
No, that's all you get is the belt. You get to keep the belts, but to me, it's bullshit. The one belt that I think when you win it that don't have no bias is the ring belt, because all these other belts they give favors. They'll bypass people in the rankings when promoters give them money. They'll boost people up. That shit happened to me in the WBC one time. Guy got a title shot and I was supposed to get a title shot, and they gave him the shit because his promoter, did something, gave him some money or some shit. The belts are crooked, man. They got millions of dollars and millions. They've got made money over the years, just millions and millions and millions of dollars. And they put the WBC does a little bit, but they put nothing back into the fighters. Nothing at all. Nothing back into the fighters. And
They give y'all health insurance, anything for having a belt?
nothing. Nothing.
Oh wow.
They give you shit. It's nothing. You just get the belt. And it's bullshit. And you constantly got to give them money. Whenever you fight, you got to give them money. It's like I said, man, it's straight garbage the way that's why I'm happy, he broke the code and that he's getting paid.
Mhm.
But, when you when everything is said and done, yeah, man, I don't blame Usyk for letting that belt go, man. Don't blame
Yeah, I
him.
think
Don't blame it at all.
I think Frank Warren was trying to lowball him and was only going to try to pay him like $25 million or something like that, and he just said no. But Usyk coming off making $100 million payday, I'm sure he was just he didn't want that. But let me ask you this though: we got free. Hey, free, go ahead, free. I know you had a couple questions for the champ.
Nah, go ahead, go ahead. I'm driving. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, okay. Because I was wondering, did you? I don't know how much you keep up with David Benavidez. Do you think David is good as they say, or you think that's a lot of hype?
No, I think he's really legit. That dude ain't the boogeyman for nothing. I think he's really legit. I would have liked to see the Canelo thing when they were early, when Canelo when it was early. I think it would have been a bad style matchup for Canelo, and I think he didn't want, at the age he was in. I don't think he wanted to be in another life or death situation. Now that fight is long gone now, right? So, but I do think if he stays at light heavyweight, I do think he gonna beat this guy up. This guy just has a lot of power, and Benavidez just throws punches and bunches and lets his hands go. He has pretty good, decent defense, but his biggest defense is his offense, and he mixes that shit up better than anybody. He's down, up, below, and that's tough. The only thing that worries me is going up in that to light heavyweight is he got to be careful about getting clipped, because some of those guys can punch. But I think he's legit, man. There's a reason why people don't want to fight him. He's legit
Yeah.
as they come.
So I want to ask you about something. It's a little different in boxing, but one thing I was talking to somebody that's a promoter, Uncle Carl. He was saying that the one thing that a lot of fighters don't know is not to accept things from the promoter. Was that ever a hard thing for you not to accept things like gifts and stuff like that from the promoter?
I don't promoters really don't give shit anyway. So I don't know. I don't know where he gift like as what. I'm gonna tell these young fighters this, man. Number one, if a promoter signs you, they got you, right? So you got to make sure don't never sign anything without having an attorney look it over, about what rights you're giving up, right? Even if you're a B opponent and you coming in on the B side, you got to make sure you have that contract or that term sheet looked at so you can know if you win what you giving up as a fighter, right? But I would say most of those contracts always gonna have some type of extension in it. If you become world champion, it's extended X amount of fights or X amount of years. So if they gonna give you gifts on top of there's nothing gonna be in the contract to say, oh, if I buy you a chain or I give you a car, it's extra money. No, you take that. You take that shit. Like they don't give shit anyway. So whenever you can get a gift and it's good for your hard work, you take that, man, because they make so much money off the fighter. Promoters, they do well. I mean, I don't think the small time promoters make as much. They're not the small time promoters are weeded out in today's game. It's all about the big ones. Everything's big now. It's not as many fights as it used to be. Back in when I was coming up early in my pro, there was a fight in Vegas every month. And it's not a fight here every month no more, man. There's not like local club shows. Maybe it's just cost too much to put the fights on. But if you got somewhere or you got someone that is believes in you and then put money into you and he promoting you and ain't even give you an advance and then he wants to give you a couple dollars or always have it read. But I will say you take whatever gifts they giving, man. That's always my mindset because it's tough in this game to get anything, to get a promoter to give you anything. Shit, it's tough. So whenever you have done well enough where they want to give you something, man, you take that.
The reason I say that is because they used to give Don King a lot of hassle because he never said no. And he would say if you ask Don to buy you say you ask him to buy you a car, he'd buy you a car, but he would take it out of your money, and people would get mad at him for doing it. Do you think that was kind of dirty of him to do that, or you think that's just business?
Don King is one of the dirtiest promoters in the history of the
Oh,
game. That's just facts. I mean, I've heard nothing but horror stories out of that man. So, and he did it a lot off the back of black fighters. And I'm not gonna speak and say everybody was that everybody was that, but there's a reason he's not really involved in no boxing now. He's low, like he's a piece of shit, man. And he did a lot of shitty things to a lot of fighters over the years. And I'm glad I never ran into him. I was close to signing with him, but I didn't. I didn't. And I'm glad I didn't because I wouldn't want to be one of those horror stories that I've heard over the years with people, man. And I hate to say it because he's a very successful um, black promoter and he did so much for the game, but he also abused a lot of fighters. I think I have a receipt in my phone. Somebody posted something on Twitter or on Facebook, and it was like all the shit he charged Tim Witherspoon for camp. It was just absolutely outrageous, outrageous.
well, let me ask you this. Wait, but brother Bernard, you can tell me if I'm wrong for thinking this, but I thought Don, but didn't Don get those guys opportunities, man, to make that kind of money? Or you don't count that?
I don't really count it because the fighter is the product, you know. Um, there's not really a lot of people that got great stories about Don King. Terry Norris sued Don King and I think he ended up suing him for and got like 9 million. Muhammad
Hmm.
Ali had differences with Don King. I mean, Mike Tyson had problems with Don. So, man, where there's smoke, there's fire, bro. So I
Yeah.
can't really say because all those fighters could fight. So without the product, without the product, what are you gonna do? And I think he was in position. Yeah, as a fighter, man, it's tough because we don't have a league, we don't have a pension, we don't have nothing that is protecting us. So when you get to the nitty gritty of everything, we got no choice but to fight. And at that time, it was only so many players in the game. You had for the longest, it was the only promoters we had was Don King and Bob Arum for the longest, and they promoted some of the biggest fights in the history of the game for
Hmm.
many years. Then later you had the Goosens come, then you had Golden Boy, then you had Al Heyman. It started shaking up a little bit, but for the longest, it was only them two. It was a two-man show for the longest. When it came to big fights and super fights and all of that, it was Don King and Bob Arum. And I just don't know if his good deeds outweigh the stuff I've heard he's done to fighters and shit he's done.
Yeah, I mean, I think you got a great point on that because I guess as a fan on the outside watching in, you just always see about how Don would bring people. Like when he made the fight with George Foreman, he famously bought George Foreman $50,000 in cash for a signature. Or when he owed Ali money, he would let Ali come to his house and reach his hand in the what he called like the drawer and grab money out. I guess those stories always seem to get lost with Don because I guess he did some things people didn't like. Like even when I don't know if you ever heard his story, he was beating Mike Tyson would come beat Don up every 6 months. and Don never called the police. The funniest story I ever heard was when Mike said he was sitting on the plane, he had got high, and he looked at Don and said, "This is all my ish," and then just he took off on Don and chased him around the limo.
Yeah,
That's
I
wild.
definitely not a big fan. I appreciate what he's done making the big fights, but on the fighter side of things is not good. I'm almost positive if I look it up. I think Terry Norris sued Don King. I'm
He did.
almost positive he sued him.
Yeah, he did. He did. I think they did something where Don agreed to pay him. I think it was $7 or $8 million, something like
I
that.
think so. I
But
think
he
it
got
was
paid.
around
But he
there.
got paid. Yeah, he got paid because he also gave Mike Tyson $10 million. They settled out of court, and he gave Mike 10 million. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'll ask you this, man, before we let you go, man. We're not gonna be too long today, man.
Yeah, yeah. I just
Um,
looked it up. Don King agrees to pay 7.5 million to Norris.
yeah, yeah. He definitely ended up paying for some of the stuff he did. But let me ask you this though: as far as in the boxing game, when you first get into it, how did you know like what promoter to sign to? You guys is it like word of mouth for you guys? How do you decide who you're gonna sign to? How does that
Well,
process work?
I tell people this all the time, man. That when I was coming up, so we had the local promoters doing like the monthly shows in Vegas.
Hmm.
So my run is just to get in where I fit in, and I was just fighting, man. I just wanted to fight, and I signed with a local promoter, and I was getting paid 1,000 for 4 rounds, 1,500 for six, 2,500 for eight, and 5,000 for 10. And
Mm.
that was my thing, man, to try to get as many fights as possible. So you don't know, right? But you know your worth. So if you believe in yourself and you believe you have talent, which I had been in with some of the best amateurs in the world. I barely lost to Zab Judah in the 96 Olympic trials.
Hmm.
I had fought some DeMarcus Corley. I had beat him. I had been in there and I was known on the amateur circuit in the early 90s, throughout the Olympic trials in '96. And even though I didn't turn pro right away, so when I started, my career was like a video game. I found I fought on a Murad Muhammad who used to work with Roy Jones. I fought on one of his shows in Mississippi. That's where I opened up. Then I fought on Roy Jones' undercard when he fought Derek Harmon. I think that fight was in Indianapolis, I think. And then after that, I came to Vegas because I didn't really want to be on that whole professional, like, oh, if Roy fights or if this fight. Murad Muhammad wasn't a big time promoters. So I was just like, you know what, let me sign with a local promoter here and and I was just fighting, man. I had a video game career. I was fighting in ballrooms, fighting at the
Hmm.
Orleans. And then after that, I went to camp with Vargas, got seen. Vargas mentioned my name on HBO, when he was doing his via satellite interview for the De La Hoya fight, and he mentioned my
Hmm.
name, and everybody wanted to find out who this kid was. He giving Vargas good work, and then that promoter brought me out of my promoter in Vegas. They gave him, I think, $35,000 to buy me out of my contract. And I went with Gary Shaw, and the rest was history. I started climbing from that point. So I just say, man, you got to trust the game more than important. You got to trust the game, and you got to be faithful to the game. And no matter if you're fighting on local club shows or you're going to camps, you sparring, you going to camps, local club shows, or you find it signing with a big promoter. Know your worth, man. That's very important. And don't cheat the game. Always, always. There's no such thing as a part-time, fighter. A fighter is a 24-hour lifestyle. It is a dedication. You can't party, smoke weed, drink, and do shit in the streets for, a couple weeks and then go to camp for 2 months and think it work out. We don't play basketball. You can't play boxing. You can't play foot. You can go play football. You can play basketball. You can't play boxing. So being a fighter is a 24-hour, 365-day job. So take the shit serious, man. And that's the only advice I could give them. And you'll know. You'll know. But whatever contract you sign, whatever deals you do, make sure you have an attorney look over it. Go find yourself a sports attorney. Ask them how much they charge to look over your contract. It may be 250 an hour. It may be a couple hundred. It may be 100 an hour. But if you got
Hmm.
a one-page term sheet or a three-page contract, they may tell you it's going to take them 3 hours to look at it. Man, get that money from a family member or get that money from
Yeah.
somebody. Don't be out here signing shit without having an attorney look at it.
So it's not like in music where you can outwork the bad deal, huh?
Nah, you don't want to be in no bad deal, man. You don't want to be in no bad deal. You just want to be in a deal where you fighting. Fighting is important. Get as many fights just fight as much as possible. That's the best thing. That's the best thing that a young fighter can do is fight. You don't want to be in a situation where you fighting once, a year that went by, you done fought 2 times. 2 years that
Hmm.
went by, you got 4 fights. Bro, you should be starting off a young professional should have at least 6 fights. If you're not having six, at least four. At least four, depending on the rounds. But if you start off going 4 rounds and you done knocked out 3 4 rounds, you done knocked out like 3 6 rounds, bro, you should be trying to get with somebody that can fight you every month or every 2 to 3 months, man. You want to try to
Mm.
get 4 fights under your belt within that first year.
And hold on, Miss BVO, that's my wife. She said, man, I'm going to record that. I was fussing at my nieces and nephews about practicing. They play basketball, and I was told I was ruining the fun. So check this out. My niece, man, she told my wife that she ruining the basketball for her because she want her to train.
You
Like
got to
when you
train, man. You got to train. I don't have I don't have boxers in my family. I got a bunch of athletes though. I had a son that went to college for football. I got a son right now in college playing soccer. I have my 13-year-old right now plays soccer, and I tell him, bro, you got to put in the work. There's no such thing as a lazy athlete. You got to put in the work. You just you're going up against, not only you going up against yourself, but you're going up against everybody else who play the sport. And when you reach a certain age, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it? I tell my son this. He in the 8th grade. I've been telling him this since he was in the 6th grade. What we doing it for? Are you doing it for? You just want to be, say you play soccer, or you doing it because you play soccer? You want to see yourself going to college with it, or you see yourself going professional? Well, if you want to play soccer, number one, if you see yourself doing all that, if you see yourself just playing for fun, let me take you off this competitive team and put you on some bullshit team so I'm not paying all this money. Then number two, if you say you want to play because you got visions of actually doing something in the future, and I'm never gonna tell no kid or nobody I ain't no dream killer, because everybody told me I couldn't do it and I did it. I'll never tell that, because I know dreams are endless. Dreams never stop. So I always tell my kids, man, that I'm gonna push you get there. I'm gonna help you get there, but you got to put in the work. You got to be willing to put in the work. That's the bottom line. So that you got to just tap into their mental and see where they at mentally and physically. Because if you trying to get to college or get to the next level playing the game, man, you got to work. Tell my son all the time, there's no such thing as a lazy champion or a lazy athlete. The lazy ones don't make it. They don't make it.
That's a fact. And you know what's funny? Watching my daughter play soccer, it's pretty fun, man. Like I don't know how if you have you ever watched soccer before your son played, before
All
your
the
sons
time,
played,
man. All the
but
time.
it's a cool little sport, man. Once you get to watching it, man.
Oh yeah, it's cool, man. It's like I said, it's cool. I just know how the game was, so I never encouraged them to really get into the game.
Yeah.
Lot of, I don't live vicariously through my kids, so I just be happy to be at the fields, man, and support them anyway. Anyway, I can support them.
Yeah. Hey, I always appreciate when you come through, Ishay, man. I ain't want to have you too long, man. I got to get up early. So
Okay, man. I appreciate it, man.
I
Thanks for
appreciate
having
you,
me,
man.
bro.
I
Thanks
look
for
forward to
having
having
me,
you soon,
man.
man. We'll
All
talk to
right,
you soon,
man.
champ.
Talk to you
Peace.
soon, man. Thanks, bro.
Thank you. But shout out to the champ coming through, man, giving us some real game. And one thing I will say that you learn in sports is that if you're not gonna put the work in, man, like you said, let me put you on one of these BS teams, man. And that's what it really comes down to. On that note, like I always do, I've been doing it this whole week, man. I definitely want to send some love to anybody getting ready for the holidays, anybody lost a loved one. Just let you know, man. Be with you on that. And on that note, man, we out of here. We'll be back tomorrow, man. Appreciate everybody coming through. Shout out to Miss BVO. And we out of here, y'all. Peace.